Welcome Virgo to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 20th of May for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now I'm showing the event chart at the start of the week. Big collective in your sister Earth sign of Taurus. And that's sensational because at the very end of last week the Sun and Jupiter unified with the Jupiter Cazimi. That's very much about being more entrepreneurial, more risk-taking, and with Jupiter being very much about growth and higher education and travel, any of those areas can really be enriched at this time. But also your ruler Mercury, if you recall, moved last week and clashed with Pluto. There may have been some tension around the middle of the week, therefore, if your desire to maintain your more regulated way of living your life has been clashing with another instinct that wants to be a bit freer and a bit more spontaneous? Or is it somebody who's pointing out to you that you're not quite seizing the moment because perhaps it's easier to stay with what you know? So as you're coming into this week, there's a lot of momentum to change things up. But how is it going to change? And what's the direction of travel? You get a clue from Mars in house 8. That's very much to do with desire. It's right close to the North Node. And the 8th house is very, very instinctively where we're most invested. But of course, Mars in the 8th house is very scorpionic. Is there somebody who's really making your pulse race in terms of a romantic dimension? It could be that it's someone completely different to you who doesn't even live in your locality or comes from a very different cultural background. Be as open-minded as possible. Then again, if you've got just really different ideas and it's your work where you really want to make an impact, Mars could be about money. So on Tuesday the Sun moves into Gemini. This is an air sign. It's about communication. It's ruled by the same ruler as you, Mercury. But Mercury here is about those quick exchanges of ideas. But it's your 10th house. This is your sector of success. And the Sun immediately links to Pluto. So whereas last week Pluto was in a fight with your ruler, rather a brittle one, now it's very enabling. If you're prepared to relax a little bit and explore your options, something can start to shape up for you that's tremendously exciting. The Sun's supported on Thursday by the glamorous energies of Venus. But Venus in the 10th house suggests that charm will get you everywhere. So your personality power is going to be important in terms of your ambitions. In a romantic context, it could be that if a relationship's going well, you want to make that next step up towards a greater commitment, perhaps by moving in together, getting your own property and so forth. For some people, even formalising it through marriage. But also, it links to Pluto in a very constructive way. We have a full moon which occurs on Thursday in the sign of Sagittarius. Now here, you're being asked to be very open-minded about your emotional situation, but it's possible that your thrust for some kind of ambition or goal needs to just be modulated against how this will play out in terms of your home life. Doesn't mean to say you shouldn't go for and push yourself forwards, but on Saturday it's Jupiter that plays catch up with the Sun and Venus, and again links with Pluto. When you get the Sun linking with Pluto, you get a deep change within us, a deep transformation, or our external circumstances can change. With Venus, it's a much deeper appreciation of our financial but also our romantic connections. With Jupiter, Jupiter works in lots of different ways, but it's certainly about expansion, self-confidence. It's back here for the first time in 12 years. Over the next 12 months, you have a great chance to transform how people view you. If you want to raise your profile, whether it's through an interest, a hobby, your professional skills, it doesn't really matter. You can enlarge people's understanding of what you have to offer. And because Pluto's in the mix, that's giving you a lot of desire to evolve something that may have been a little bit stuck. So if you are someone who wants to make a big impact, doesn't matter where, the choice is yours. The planetary pushing and nudging you've had recently to be more experimental and to be more explorative and perhaps even more adventurous. The way this actually manifests itself could be around a change of work, of life role, of how you can connect in your local community, of taking on more responsibilities and obligations, or using your life experience and skills and knowledge to guide others in some kind of powerful and potent way. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Virgo. I hope you have a great week, and if you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now to help it grow.